Hello, everyone out there. It's William here at Allegory Gallery, and it is Monday. New week, new possibilities. I hope everyone out there is doing really well. I have absolutely no idea where today has gone so far. So I don't know how your Monday is starting out. But today, I decided let's have a Let's Chat Day. And if you are new to us or you haven't seen any of these Let's Chat videos, this is kind of where I take some cues from you all and kind of, just sit here, chat with you, learn more about you. You can learn more about me and us here, and just just hang out a little bit. I have a headache today, which is one of the reasons I'm not showing you anything new necessarily today, just because getting anything together, it's been a rough day with a headache for most of the day. I've taken some pills, not doing anything yet, so hopefully something will happen and work its way out. I see Lorraine is here. Hello, Lorraine. Thank you for tuning in. If you are here, if you're watching, wherever you're watching, whether it's YouTube or on Facebook, please say hi. That's what these days are about. Let's Chat days. If you missed this in the beginning, I know sometimes Facebook and YouTube don't tell you right away when we start, and you can't tune in right away. This is a Let's Chat day. So we hang out, we chat together, we kind of take it for as long as it goes, and then we're done. So sometimes these last, 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes they've lasted 2 hours. So it all depends how much we have to talk about and what we get into and the things we talk about. Hello, Brooke. Thank you for tuning in. And Susan, too. Patty says, hope you feel better. Thank you so much. Me, too. This headache is not fun today. As I was saying, I was working on some things today, trying to get as much done as I can with this pounding headache. And I decided that we're just going to have a Let's Chat because I've been doing computer work and screen in your face all day with a headache, not good. So this is kind of different because we have, I'm further away from the screen, and also I don't have to, kind of think about or process anything necessarily, just get to sit here and chat with you all. So Nancy, your hair has grown. Yes, my hair has grown. I still need to make a hair appointment, which is going to happen one of these days, sooner or later, right? Or else my hair will just get wild and you'll see me in my various stages of hair growth, right? It definitely grows slower these days than it used to, but it definitely is catching up to me. But yeah, so what's been going on in the world of Allegory Gallery? Well, today I put on a few things in the Halloween category. So if you haven't checked out the Halloween category in our online store, I'm going to go ahead and throw that up here right now so you can check that out. The store has lots of stuff for Halloween. So if you are interested at all in Halloween, please check out that collection. You can hit the shop tab and it's the very first thing on the shop tab, or it's one of the very first collections on the homepage, and you can check that out. I put in some pewty spacers in there today. We have a ton of spacers that we are in the process of, like this, putting into tubes. We buy them in bulk and then we separate them and sort them into these tubes to sell, to make it easier to sell. So we are in the process of doing that. I've been thinking about putting those in the online store, but I'm not sure if people would really want to purchase them from us. I'm not sure if that's something you all want. I know we're known for gemstones and check glass and some of the vintage stuff, but I don't know if you want to be able to purchase spacers and pewties, things like that from us. So if you do, let me know. Let me know in this video. Let us know in the comments. I would be happy to start putting them in there. As you can see, like there's, I think, 32. We have 32 written on here, 32 of this one design. So I could easily split them up between the online store and the physical store. Normally, that's something we only put in the actual physical store. So let me know. if it's something you think you might consider purchasing from us. They're generally about $3 a tube. As Suzanne says, they are very useful. They are super useful. But I know there are probably a lot of other places people can get those. So if it's not worth me taking the effort to make listings and put them on the the online store, if it's worth it, good. If not, that's fine too. I don't have to put everything on there. Sandra's talking about sterling silver. Looks like gold filled, I'm guessing. No, this is not what we're talking about, Sandra. These are pewties. They are pewter. They are lead free, cadmium free, but they are not sterling or gold filled. So that would be an option. They come in gold color, they come in silver color, and they come in an antique copper color. So that would be something. Teresa says, yes, please. Like I said, I know you have a lot of places to get those probably, but if it's something you would consider purchasing from us and it would be worth me putting online, then I'll go ahead and do it. These are not seed beads, Julie. She says I don't buy many seed beads. They're not seed beads, they are spacer beads. They're metallic spacer beads. So they come in all different shapes, like we put the skulls in the Halloween shop. They come in rings, they come in little nuggets, they come in. I did if you go over to our Instagram page, instagram.com/allegory gallery, you can see I did a little reel of some of the spacers that I was working on the other day. So you can see what I'm talking about there kind of and get an idea of what we're talking about. So who else is out there? Who else is out there? Let me jump back here for a little bit. Let's see, there we were. Hello, Ruslan from the Ukraine. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you watching. I don't know what time it is over there, but thank you for watching on YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube, we hope you'll hit subscribe and we hope you'll share this post with your friends if you think it's something that people might like. This is a little bit of an odd day, simply because this is a Let's Chat day. And here at Allegory Gallery, the whole idea of Allegory Gallery, when we started the physical shop, when we started online, it's about creating community. And so these Let's Chat days are times when we're not trying to necessarily sell you anything. We're just hanging out with you, letting you know what the updates are, what's going on, but we're not going to show you any products necessarily today, unless we start asking. If you start asking to see certain things, then I'll show them. But these are unscripted. There's really no, rhyme or reason to them. They're all about just, if you were hanging out with your friends and the kind of discussions that come up, that's kind of what we're talking about. And that's what we do here. Uh-oh, Sandra's out there feeling frustrated today. Hope that gets better for you. My headache is the only thing really frustrating me today. Otherwise, I have actually no idea where the day actually went. I think I said that in the beginning, probably before most of you were joining or watching if you're live here. I have no idea where today went. I came in at 11. It's already 5. I don't know. But it was a good day. We didn't have many people in store today. We only had about 3 or 4 different groups come in. Some of those were singles, some of those were a group of 4 or 5 people, but not a very busy day in store. So I worked on some things online, took some pictures of things. We are working on, that's a new thing to tell you too. I'll get to that in just a second. Let me go through the comments here a little bit. Teresa's joining in. Julie's here. Hello. Ruslan, don't worry about that. We totally understand English isn't your first language. You're doing very well. Certainly better than I can do in most other languages anyway, right? Hello, Janice. Thank you for tuning in with us here. Hello, Molly. Marianne is here with us. Oops, comments just jumped. Hello, Amy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Spacers are good, says Molly. I use them. Oh, Julie had the volume turned down. I get it. I get it. I know on some of these now, I guess it transcribes us as we're doing this video, which is kind of wild to me. I don't know if it's on YouTube and Facebook or just one or the other, but some people have mentioned that they're getting subtitles as this goes on, which is really amazing. I think that's awesome. Hello, Tisha. Thank you for joining in. Robin, hello. Thank you, friend, for joining us today. Molly has a headache too. Oh no, it must be something in the air out there, right? Suzanne, you're getting more rain. I know. I was going to bed. It was probably about 3 or 4 in the morning last night, and I laid down and I saw that y'all are preparing for another massive storm, which I was like, oh my goodness. So I hope everything goes well again for you all. That's just more rain and more rain. That's crazy. Molly and Teresa say both subtitles on Facebook. Nice. That's awesome. I like that. Anything to help our friends out there, right? To have any kind of difficulties like that, whether it's seeing or hearing. I think that's an amazing thing. Trying to be as accessible as possible, and I love that. Let's see here. Susan's trying to keep the younger cat from eating both his food and the older cat's dinner. Not very successful. I have been trying to do that a little bit. Our oldest, Babette, she needs to be on a diet. So she gets very spoiled. They all get very spoiled, of course. And so we're trying to put her on a diet, but that means everybody has to be on a diet. And it is now getting to the point where everyone's, out for their own. So they're pushing each other off of plates and trying to eat each other's food. So I totally get it. It's not easy. I had to push Babette away. I don't like doing that, but I had to push her away from the food bowls this morning because she was eating everybody's food. And we have to make sure Barnaby eats with all that's going on with him, and Gilbert, who's kind of, I swear Gilbert must feel like the middle child, because he there's Barnaby and there's Babette, and they get a lot of attention, and Gilbert is kind of the generally calm, generally pretty. He'll curl up with you at night, but he's not really around. He does his own thing a lot of times during the day or sleeps. And so I always think of him like he must feel like the middle child. So I've been trying to give him a lot of extra attention, but he also is turning into a very big boy and growing fast, and he likes to eat. So he and Babette, Mr. Barnaby is skinny, as many of you know who have seen my pictures or we've talked about him. And so I'm trying to keep them all eating, but eating what they're supposed to eat and not more. And not less either, right? Let's see here. What is going on? All right. Let's see what else is going on. Nancy says, I really enjoy these live promos. It's like hanging out with your friends and learn so many new things. So much fun. Thank you so much, Nancy. We enjoy hanging out with you all as well. And please, like I said, please do comment. Let me know how your weekend went, how your week has begun. I take cues from all of you to continue this video going. So if you all don't give me cues and I run out of things to think about and talk about that I have done, the video ends. So if you want to hang out, leave some comments. I'll see who's comment. I can't always get to everybody's comment, but I'll see who. I'll read through the comments and we'll take it off from there. Marianne says Loki lives sleeping in the closet most of the day. That's kind of cute, actually. Let's see here. What do we have here? Let's see. I can't always see anybody. Molly says, think you have a hacker on Amy's comment. I can't see the comments as they come up, so let's see here. Oh, yes, I see somebody. Let's just go ahead and block that user, and we will delete that comment. Hopefully that takes care of that. We're going to delete comments here. See, you think somebody might be good, started asking good questions, and then started asking weird questions. So we'll just block, right? We hate to do that, but that's how we are, right? We can't have craziness in the group, right? Don't ask to keep liking comments. Don't ask to, don't do that. That's not right. So hopefully that ended that. Let's see here. What is going on otherwise? Amy says her weekend was nuts. We took the kids to the Natural History Museum and got caught on the I-5 closure because of root fire. Oh my goodness. that doesn't, I mean, it sounds like fun for most of it, right? But of course, going home is not when you want to get stuck, right? That's usually when your day has already ended and you've already done everything and you're worn out and you're just trying to get home and then you get stuck. Not fun. Of course, I don't know if the other way is any better because you're trying to get somewhere. You don't want to get stuck when you're trying to get somewhere either. So my weekend, what did I do? I don't even remember Saturday. I was here at the store on Saturday. So we had a new tournament in town. We had a cornhole tournament. I don't know if y'all know what cornhole is. I don't know if that's just kind of a Western Pennsylvania thing or if that is a well-known thing. But that's where you have it's a board with holes drilled in it that's kind of at an angle, and you throw these little bags into to try and get into the holes. So that's what they did. Our town, our Chamber of Commerce, I believe, decided to have a cornhole tournament. And so that brought a number of people into town, actually. I wasn't sure how it was going to do. It's the first one they've ever done. To me, it's a strange kind of event because I don't really play that at all or compete in that at all. But I've done it, in fun at family gatherings and stuff, but I didn't know it was a thing that was this big. So I didn't know how it was going to be. And I went to get some coffee and my decaf, of course, my decaf mocha. And they had closed off one of our parking lots in town, and it was full of people playing, which, like I said, totally surprised me. It was fairly a slow day in store because the people who came to play that weren't necessarily the people who would shop with us. But it was good to see people around town and something new happening. So that happened on Saturday, and it was fairly slow in store, but I got a few things, I think, in the online store, and I worked on some pricing and all that stuff for in-store. And then Sunday, I had the day off. So I cleaned the house some, which was crazily needed because we have been tearing apart our house. If you don't own a bead store, I don't know how to explain it. But I am sure you all have crafting areas. Just imagine that crafting area exploding over your whole house. That is pretty much what's happened to our home. We're trying to sort things. We're taking things out of places they've been stored. We're sorting through things. Things are all over. The cats are wondering what is going on here. But so we have things everywhere right now, trying to to move it over to Star Cottage Studio to get Andrew's studio set up. And of course, a lot of the stuff that's in the house is stuff that Andrew works with to make kits and his projects. So all that stuff is coming out. So I cleaned up a little bit around the house, and then I got out my mandolin, which if you have not watched these, my grandfather left when he passed away. His instruments were distributed throughout the family, and my dad got his mandolin. My dad realized he was not really going to play it, and I had been talking to my mom about wanting to learn a musical instrument, and so now he's given me my grandfather's mandolin. So I've had that for about a year. Sorry, the lights are flickering here. This one light is still having issues. I've had it for about a year, probably, and really haven't learned anything. So I said yesterday, okay, this is enough. I'm pulling it out. I'm going to sit down in front of YouTube, and I've already bookmarked some mandolin lessons on YouTube. And so I pulled it out finally, sat down, and I learned 3 chords, D, G, and C chords on the mandolin. I learned the names of the strings on the mandolin, and kind of a little bit about how it's set up, and a little bit about how to restring it if I need to. I read up on that. So yeah, I did that. So that was exciting. I was I hate to say proud of myself, but kind of proud of myself that I actually did it. Because I've thought about doing it so much and I've put it off so much, and I figure I need to learn this. What I did not realize is that the mandolin and the violin are strung up very similarly. So I've always wanted to learn the violin. I just don't have one. And I never wanted to buy one because I know me, and sometimes I buy things and never learn them. It's like buying my books and never reading them, right? So I get very interested in hobbies, and I buy everything that I possibly can for the hobby, and then I don't do it. So I ended up uh, learning that the violin and the mandolin are similar. So I have to learn the mandolin now so that I can also learn the violin. So that's what's in my brain to try and keep myself going. So let's see what you all out there are saying too. I don't want to miss everything. Let's see. Molly knows cornhole. She thinks it's fun. Robin loves cornhole. And that's good. I'm glad it's a thing that, because I wasn't sure if it was just a thing around here. You know, it's not something that I've done a lot of, so I have no idea. Tisha says definitely an Alabama thing. Nice. See, who knew? Who knew it was such a big thing? But yeah, it must be a big thing because there were tons of people in the parking lot playing. And I don't know if they actually set it up as a competition. Like, I don't know if there was a winner. I haven't gotten an email from the chamber about it, so I'm guessing it was just for fun, but I don't know for sure. I do know when I went over there, Celine Dion was playing, which was very interesting to have Celine Dion playing during a cornhole tournament. But such is life in Ligonier, Pennsylvania, right? Susan had a relaxing weekend listening to music and reading. Nice. Watched La Dolce Vita yesterday. Very long film. I don't think I've ever watched that. Today was an exciting day of dusting laundry in this Facebook Live. Well, I'm glad you could join us, Susan. Looks like you're getting a lot done, though. I did dishes yesterday, a bunch of dishes. Sometimes, you know, you have to clear out things and just because they sit in the cabinets, right? So sometimes you rewash things. So I did some of that. Did not get to my laundry yet, though. That's probably tonight. Andrew has been off to the Touchstone Center for the Crafts, and he's been working on Japanese raising. So learning how to make bowls in Japanese style from sheets of metal. I believe round sheets of metal. So if you haven't been following him on his Instagram or his Facebook, check that out too, because he's doing some really interesting things. This is his last day of that class. So I'm excited to see how much he gets done. He's been coming home very late because he's been staying after hours to work in the open studios that they have once class is over. So I'm excited to see, but he's probably not going to be home for a while. Hello, Kay. Thank you for joining in. I know I'm behind on the comments, so just saying hi now. Marianne, understand the concept, but don't know how it was called cornhole. I have not looked up why it's called cornhole. I'm sure there are stories out there about why or histories of it, but I don't know either, to tell you the truth. Let's see here. Susan asks, are you finding lots of surprises in the cleanup and the first the explosion and then the cleanup? I am. I don't know if they're necessarily surprises to Andrew, but Andrew has a lot of stuff. And sometimes I don't know about all of it. So as some of these things have been coming out, I have definitely been seeing some things that I had no idea that we had. Some things I forgot that we had, but definitely there are surprises. Now that's probably not very exciting because I don't think he's going to be doing any kind of studio sale or anything, but there are things in there that surprised me that I didn't have any clue that we had. Janice says, my highlight this weekend was going to Trader Joe's to stock up on pumpkin products and watch the Chiefs game on Sunday. I know how to party. Nice. Hey, sounds like a good weekend. Any weekend that involves not a ton of work is probably a good weekend. We do a lot of working. Excuse me. We do a lot of working, of course. So it was kind of nice, even though I was cleaning the house, and it was kind of nice just to take a day and not worry about what's going on at the store. I didn't stop in at all. I just let our person handle it for the day. And it was so, so nice. I also built a bookshelf, just an IKEA one, not getting wild with power tools, but built a bookshelf that we had purchased for my office. I have a closet in my office and it's just a mess. So I put a bookshelf in there to try and organize things. And I still have a lot of work to do with the organizing part, but I got it built and I got it put into place. So that was part of my weekend too. Hello, Harry. Thank you for joining in. Let's see here. Teresa says, popular in Ohio and Midwest too, started in Germany. I'm guessing you're talking about cornhole. I don't know how. I had no clue it started in Germany, if that's what you're talking about. Maybe you know the history of where the name came from. I certainly don't. Let's see here. Where I missed something. What did I miss? I missed something because somebody's talking about new stuff. Don't know what I missed. Oh, Kathy is here. I just figured out how to chat on YouTube. I got a new Chromebook and I have no idea how to use it. Well, congratulations on the new toy. And I'm glad you found us on YouTube too. That's awesome. I don't know if that's what people are talking about. Let's see. Saw they have new stuff, says Molly. Not sure who they are. Maybe you're replying to other people because I cannot tell if you're replying or chatting to me. They all just come up as linear. It has such a beautiful tone. Don't know. Sorry, everybody. Don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to be skipping things if I don't know what you're talking about. Let's see here. What else is going on? Kathy worked on sorting beads for a day. I hope you got through a lot. I know when we sort beads for a day, usually we don't get through very many beads. So I hope you did better than we usually do. Harry said cornhole is also in the Midwest, big at tailgating. See, it's everywhere apparently. It's everywhere. Janice says, my husband plays the mandolin, or he is trying to. He has taken several lessons. That's awesome. I don't really know of anyone around here that does lessons. And with COVID, I don't really want to be taking too many in-person lessons yet, just because of everything getting crazy again. But I did find, and I wrote a post about that today, that I think it's going to be a little bit slower going for me, trying to do this on my own without somebody to teach me. I very much like teachers. I do learn better that way, generally, leaving me up to my own kind of things. I always do my own kind of research whenever I'm studying something, but generally I like to do that in addition to having a teacher. I am very visual as a learner. So I do like to see it. I do like to see someone else doing it. So the YouTube videos are okay, but there are certain things like you can't ask questions, of course, right? Well, you could in the comments and maybe they'll get back to you, maybe not. But it's one of those things that I really do wish I had a teacher who would teach me how to do it. But, you know, hey, this is the free way. So I'm going to do the free way for now. Let's see, what else is everybody doing out there? Spent my weekend nursing dog after surgery, running on 1 hour of sleep now. I will sleep like a baby tonight, I bet, Kay. I hope doggy is okay. But yes, 1 hour of sleep. It's weird. I like my sleep. I've said this, I think, before. I like a lot of sleep. I sleep a lot. I don't sleep a lot. I like to sleep a lot. I could easily sleep 10 hours in a night, every night, and probably continue that indefinitely. I do like my sleep. But sometimes when I have like 1 or 2 hours of sleep and, you know, you got to power through something, it's amazing the amount of energy I can have after just a few hours of sleep or 1 hour of sleep. So I hope you're doing well, Kay, but I do understand that at night, once you've powered through and you've gotten through your day, sometimes you just pass out. And I hope you're not like me where sometimes you still have trouble sleeping even after only 1 hour, because that happens to me too. Tisha did lots of sketching and designs. Nice. What were you sketching, Tisha? Were you doing jewelry work or something else? Let us know. Harry said the bags of cornhole were filled with corn kernels. Well, that would make more sense. I still think there could have been a better name for that, but hey, I wasn't the one naming it. Kay says she thinks the game was originally played with corn cobs instead of bean bags. Then, oh, thanks, Harry. I knew corn was involved, right? William, you guys are busy. I bet it was nice to be at home. It was. You know, I got to spend a whole day with the cats, which I usually hardly ever get to. So I got to spend time with them. And even though I did that, still, Mr. Barnaby was pretty much the only one who was with me most of the day. Gilbert and Babette, they don't like the vacuum cleaner. Barnaby will run away from it, but he comes back. The other two, under the bed for about 5 hours yesterday as I was cleaning and making noise. They just couldn't deal with that. So, but it was nice to be home. It was nice to be home with them. It was nice to be home and just kind of know I had nowhere else I needed to go. I did stop for some Chinese to get some pickup and takeout because Andrew was going to be getting home late. He'd let me know that he was going to be late, and I was not cooking after the day I had, so I just went ahead and got something. So that was the only time I really left the house yesterday, which was kind of really nice. Let's see here. Up, they just jumped. I hate that. Why does it keep jumping? Molly says, someone scratched my bumper at our car wash. That's awful. How does that happen? That's no good. Someone, were they cleaning your car or were they like in line? Because like our car wash here, there are the stalls that you can go in and you can do the car wash yourself, or there's the automatic one. But it's pretty, I guess they could hit you in line, but so I'm not sure how that happens, but I'm sorry that happened. Let's see here. Janice says, my husband took mandolin lessons online last year. It was a live Zoom lesson. Yeah, even something like that. Something where you could have real feedback, because there were things that I was learning, and you know, I researched it a little bit more and I figured out the answer, of course, which is great. But it would be really nice not to have to spend the extra 10 to 20 minutes researching something that you could just say, hey, is this how you do this? But I definitely get it. Definitely get it. Are you going to strum or finger pick the mandolin? I used to do both. An electric tuner is very helpful. There was a pick that came with it that my grandfather also had. So I don't believe I'm going to, I guess, finger strum. I guess that's just using your fingers. I'm going to use the pick. The person I'm watching and trying to learn from definitely recommends a pick. So I do need to get a tuner, because my ear, I call myself tone deaf. My grandfather, I don't know if he had perfect pitch or what, but he never used, I never saw him using a tuner. Everything was by ear. And even though this has been years that this mandolin has been sitting around, when I played it, it sounded very, very close to the person in the video. So it was still strung well, which I don't know. They say they can lose that over time, but it was still strung up well. It still sounded really good. So I was very thankful that it sounded right before I had to do anything. So I do plan on getting an electric tuner, because my ear is not built for that, at least not now. Maybe after playing, once I get playing, once I really start learning it a little bit more, I might understand what it should sound like, but I'm not there yet. So I need to do that. I've looked up a few, but then I started reading through some reviews, and some of them, because of the way they clamp on, some of the varnishes used on some of the particular instruments, you shouldn't use those particular clip-on ones with that. So they actually, I have a Gibson. It's a Gibson mandolin. And very specifically, apparently, thankfully, the commenter or the reviewer said it, because very specifically they mentioned Gibson guitars with a particular varnish or shellac that's on them. It can ruin it. And so I don't know if that's the same as my mandolin or not, or if those are newer processes versus mine is probably a fairly old mandolin. So I have to watch. I have to figure out what's going to be best for that. So I still have to do some research on some of that stuff. Let's see here. Susan says, Labor Day weekend, we went to the Japanese festival at Mobot. I don't know where that is, but that sounds fun. I would have liked that. Wonderful food, drink, and I love the taiko drums, origami sculptures, bonsai, and Okinawa displays. That's lovely. I wish they had something like that here. I studied Japanese in college a little bit, so I always like things. I very much appreciate their culture. Definitely appreciate their culture. Let's see. Tisha says she was doing jewelry designing, sketching, and some oil painting ideas. Nice. Very nice. I like to see that creativity out there. Vacuums and cats do not mix well. No. We have never had a cat that just, kind of hung around with a vacuum. Like, I watch these videos online where people are vacuuming and their cat's like chasing the vacuum or playing with the vacuum. Never in our house. Never has that happened. All of our cats go running all over to their respective corners, I guess. Let's see here. Teresa says Cornell sort of rocks down a groundhog hole, so change to corn bags and a wooden board. That's interesting. That's very interesting. There was also a Torah Nagashi ceremony, which is dedicated to the spirit of the departed. It involves floating lanterns with messages in the lagoon with a blessing from the Zen Buddhist priest. That's really, really pretty. Those are pretty when they happen. Sounds like a very, very good time. Here he says, I used to use a long, flexible, almond-shaped pick. Huh. Did not see this. This is just a normal triangular pick. Although the guy who was doing the lessons on YouTube mentioned his was a thicker pick than most guitar picks are. And I think the one I have is just a guitar pick. So I might look into a thicker one than that. But still sounds pretty good as far as I can figure. And my grandfather used it, so he could pick up any stringed instrument and just play. He could play the piano a little bit too, but mostly, since it's a stringed instrument, but mostly the instruments he played some violins, he played mandolin, played guitar. I'm trying to think of anything else he had. I know he had some other smaller, I think he had a ukulele at one point, but I never really heard him playing that. But he had a lot of stringed instruments, and what I have heard through my family history, which I wish I could find the demos and stuff. He was, at some point, he went further down south to actually record at a record studio. And they really wanted him to, become something. And he was very good at what he did, but he was also extremely, extremely religious. So he was a Seventh-day Adventist. And if you don't know about them, their Sabbath is Friday night to Saturday night. So that was the day of rest. And he was very extreme. So his day of rest meant he could do nothing from Friday night to Saturday night. His kids did nothing. You could watch nature shows on TV, or you could rest. And of course, cook and eat. But you could not play. You could not do anything that was considered kind of play or work of any type. So they wanted him to do shows at bars and things like that, and he was strictly against that. So unfortunately, what could have been a musical career for him was not. But he was still very, very good. I remember him getting together with all his friends, and they do kind of bluegrass and that kind of music, and they'd play together. And it was really, really cool. As a kid, I didn't really appreciate it as much as I do now, or would now. So I wish he was around to ask questions too, but unfortunately he's not. But he was very good at playing, and I'm really excited. I'm excited about it. I just need to actually, not make it one of those things that I pick up for a while and then just kind of toss aside. I got to stick with it. And that's the purpose of me posting about it and talking about it, so everyone can keep me, real, and keep me, ask me, how's it going? How's that mandolin going? So that I can't, it's kind of not, no, I need to keep doing it. Marianne says she actually had one dog who always got very excited when I got out the vacuum. Very strange, very strange. But hey, what are you going to do? Harry said his tuner was a sit beside model. I've seen some of those, and I think the one that I looked at, though, said that it really needs to be in a quiet room, which I don't know why I would not be tuning in. I'm not doing any performances, that's for sure. So I might actually get one of those type of models. Let's see here. Suzanne, my husband has 9 vintage guitars. That's nice. That's a good collection. Some of our other friends, I think, have guitar collections too. I just, when I've told this before, but if you're new, when I was in high school, I begged my parents not to make me join and take up an instrument. And I don't know why. I just had this feeling that they were going to try and make me do it. And kind of I wish they would have, but they didn't. They didn't. And so now I'm in my 40s trying to learn an instrument, but I think it's going to go well. I have this idea. Oh, okay. So Mobot, Missouri Botanical Garden. Nice. Nice. Oh no, Molly's phone died. Tish, how can your online shop? Not sure what you're asking there, but if you want to go to our online shop, it's right. Where is it? Right. I got to go this way. It's right here. allegorygallery.com. And you can visit our online shop there. Lots and lots and lots of good stuff in there. Let's see here. Oh, your daughter noticed it when we went home. Car wash was really busy. I can touch it up if I get touch-up paint. It's still not fun. We have to touch up one of our cars. We bought touch-up paint a long time ago. And that was when we had one little spot. And now there's a lot of little spots forming of some paint that's been chipped away, especially mostly on the front of the car. So our car Appa has to have some minor cosmetic work done. And let's see here. You should learn a song and play it for Andrew at the wedding as a surprise. I don't know if it's going to happen that quickly. But apparently, with all the chords that I already know, the three that I learned yesterday, there's a lot of songs you can play. Like the Beatles' Love Me Do. Apparently, I could play that if I really, got good at switching between the chords and figuring out the strumming. Apparently that's a part of everything too, is figuring out down, up, how you play to keep the music going. So there's a whole technique to that too, which I don't know yet. So I just learned the 3 chords, but apparently there's a lot of music I can play with those 3 chords, surprisingly. But I don't think I'll be doing any of it at the wedding. But we'll see. But nobody wants to hear me sing either. So there's that. People say they like my voice on video. You would not like it if I were singing on video. I'll tell you that right now. I joke about possibly singing sometimes, but I will never do it because no one wants to hear that. Maybe after I play the instrument and I kind of understand the notes and the chords and all that, maybe I'll be able to sing better. Maybe. I've always wanted to take singing lessons. I've always wanted to be a singer. If I could have chosen any career, like just your wildest dreams, I would have been a singer. Probably an opera singer when I was younger, because I really, really loved opera when I was in my teens. So if I would have had to pick back then, it probably would have been that. Now, I don't know. I don't know what I'd sing. But that would have been my perfect dream, would have been to be a singer. Tisha has a bluegrass festival this weekend here. Such fun. We have one that happens around here, and I don't know if you're around here or not. But there is one that happens around where we are too, and I don't know when it is, actually. I need to find that out. I don't know when it's happening this year, or maybe it already happened. I'm not 100% sure. I lose track of time. Having our own store, we often lose track of time. Let's see here. But look at all the languages you know. You can always learn to play an instrument. Very different, though, I think. The mechanicals of it, to learn a language, and I guess to speak it, you do have to you learn to contort your mouth, I guess, in different ways. You have to use muscles that you normally wouldn't use in your chosen language a lot of times, or in your first language. But doing an instrument where it is like literally using your hands both separately, you have to have that you have to have that ability to do two things at one, like turn the circle and up and down or whatever it is, pat your head and rub your belly. You have to be able to do that with an instrument, or learn how to do that, at the same time remembering where those hands should go. So yeah, I'm excited though. I am one of those firm believers, I think I've talked about this before, that people, for the most part, unless there's some kind of challenge in your life, but I think people, for the most part, I think anyone can learn almost anything. I really do believe that. Some people, it takes a lot longer. Some people are more naturally gifted at one thing or the other. I think I'm fairly naturally gifted at languages for the most part. I don't know how I do now, being in my 40s. If I tried to start another language, I'm not sure if it would be as easy as it was. But I think most people can learn to do most things. And like I said, you may take a lot longer to learn how to do something than someone else. Like if I were to learn how to draw, I think it would take me a very long time to learn how to draw, compared to like Andrew or somebody else who's naturally gifted at that. But I do believe people have their natural gifts, but I also believe that most people can do anything if they put the time and effort into it. My problem is finding the time and continuing the effort. So I'm hoping, though, to get better at it. Definitely hoping to get better at it. Harry said most mandolin picks are more flexible than a guitar pick. See, that's completely the opposite of what this guy was saying, but that might be just his personal preference. He liked a thicker one than that. So that's interesting, but thank you for the link. I'm going to definitely check that out. Marianne says you learned those because of the three. That's right. That was the beginner lesson, are those three chords that are the most common. So that's why I learned those. Andrew would love you to sing to him. No. No, Andrew would not love me to sing to him. Sometimes I do that, and I can tell you Andrew does not love me to sing to him. But that's funny. Maybe play if I shut my mouth, but no, that's funny. Susan says my cats are the only ones who can stand my singing. That's about right. That is about right. And yeah, even my cats sometimes. So there you go, right? So Tisha's from Alabama. Nice. So you're definitely not around here, but we have a bluegrass festival around here too. Okay. We got somebody here. Looks like we have to block. Sorry about that. We had another spam. Hey, that must mean, if we're getting spam, it must mean we're doing something right? That's how I look at it. People are spamming the comments, must mean we're spreading our reach, right? We're getting a larger audience. People are finding us. So I can't complain too much about that, right? But I don't like to see. I'm pointing over here. See, I can't point anyway. The screen is reversed so that when I hold something up for you all like that, it's correct. But that means I don't know what side of me I'm on. So anyway, I'm reading the comments. We had some spam comments, so I think I took care of those, hopefully anyway. I blocked them from here. Hopefully it blocks them everywhere. Maybe not. I may have some cleaning up to do once I go into the respective YouTube and Facebook pages. Practice makes permanence. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. There are still things I know that I don't know why I know, other than I took the time to know them. Cynthia says, I think if you put forth the time and effort, you can do anything. I agree. I 100% agree. I watch Azalea doing all these things, and it only makes me further agree with that, because she's doing so many different things and she's doing them so well. But she's putting in a lot of effort and time. So I truly do believe that anyone, like I said, some people have some challenges with things, and I understand that. But I think generally people have things they are very good at. I think everyone has certain things they are very good at. And I think everyone can learn anything else in addition to that. So, and if you've not found what you're very good at, then you should keep trying until you do, I think. And that's why I was talking about, Suzanne brought it up earlier, my whole William tries. I want to start this, and I'm kind of starting it, but it's not like this big release that I'm doing. But I'm trying to learn different things. I'm trying to, just try different things. Hence, William tries. I'm going to try different things. One of those things was pottery. I tried pottery. I loved it. I don't know if I'm necessarily good at it, but I really liked it. So I'm going to I have a potter's wheel on the way, and we're going to set up a little pottery area for me, and probably Andrew will get into it too a little bit more. But tried that, trying the mandolin. I'm going to keep trying things, and just to see, and just to see how it goes, and see what I'm good at or not good at, or what I need to practice, or what I even want to do. But I think, I think you're selling yourself short if you don't try things. If you have the ability and you have the time and sometimes money to try different things, and you don't, I think you're selling yourself short, because you might find something you're really good at, or something you really enjoy, even if you're not good at it. Like the pottery. I really enjoyed it. At first I was, kind of petrified, as I usually am, because of my anxiety. And when I have to say, usually I'm fairly decent at most things. So if I try something, I'm always worried I'm going to be bad at it. But I went into it with the attitude that you might be terrible at this. And I went in with it with that attitude. And at first, I was not great at all. I'll tell you that. It took me a while to even figure out centering for the pottery. But I kept going with it. And not that I'm great. Not at all. But I think I did a lot of learning in the few classes that we had. And if I would have never tried it, I would have never found something that I really liked like that. So I think you shouldn't sell yourself short. I think you should keep trying and trying and trying as long as you possibly can. Harry says, it is fun to play with instruments, even if you are not great. The act of doing is important. Exactly. That's exactly what I was trying to get across. Harry did it very well. No matter what you're doing, the act of doing is important, right? Just try stuff. Try new stuff. Who cares if you're great or not? Why are we getting so much spam today? I'm going to keep blocking people. So much spam today. I don't know what's happening. Like I said, it must mean we're doing something right if we're getting spam in the comments, right? Susan says, I just don't understand these spammers. I don't either. That was 3 today. I haven't gotten any in any of our other lives. We had 1 months ago, but now I have like 3 of them. So I don't know what's going on, but hey, it must mean we're doing, like I said, you're getting spammers. That means you're reaching a bigger audience, right? Janice is an administrator for a Facebook group for Kansas City, I'm guessing. Is that what you mean? And it's almost a full-time job trying to keep the spammers out, right? It's crazy. We have some of that in our groups and things here and there, but usually not in our lives. But hey, I'm not going to complain. It just means we're reaching a new audience, hopefully a bigger audience. Hopefully there are some people in that audience that want to watch what we're doing. Tisha says, see you next time. Got to roll into the kitchen. It has been great. Thank you for joining us today. Trying is part of growing. Yes, it is. It definitely is. Marianne says, your pottery is great. Thanks. It's okay. I have a lot of learning to do, but I do enjoy it. I did get things out of it that I liked. I got pieces that I actually really do like, and it made me want to do more. So I think that's fun. Whoops, where are we at? Where are we at? Susan says, yes, love learning new stuff. Me too. You know, I think as we've had the store, our entire life has been devoted to keeping this store going and keeping everything running. And for a very long time, pretty much since we've had the store, I've had no outside hobbies. And when you don't have anything outside to do, every day starts looking and feeling like the day before. And I thought I was going a little bit insane because my brain doesn't really, I don't remember what I did yesterday or the day before or the day before that. And I thought, am I getting like early dementia? Am I getting Alzheimer's? Is something wrong? And I really think that a lot of my issue comes from doing the same thing all the time and not having something to escape into, kind of. So, other than I'd escape into TV once in a while, and then I don't remember even what I watched. So I think I needed something that was more creative. I think I needed something that was that made me think in a different way. And so that's why I think pottery is going to be good, and I think a musical instrument is going to be good to kind of make my brain wake up a little bit and kind of, you know, shake off the regular and kind of create some new pathways in there. I think that's going to be good. Let's see. Cynthia says, I love my tank drums. I'm not very good, but I love finding harmonious sounds. I think those are super cool. We got Andrew one too. I think he's still jealous of your big one because we got him one, and it doesn't sound quite the same, and I don't think he's pulled it out very often. He was hoping for one like you have, but they are cool. They're really cool things, and it's fun, I think, just to play around with them. Like even with the mandolin, I was just playing around, just listening to it and kind of figuring it out. And of course, my hands are fairly large, so trying to fit and figure out how to, you know, it's a physical thing on how to grip your hand or how to contort your fingers so that you aren't touching every string instead of just the ones that you want. So I think even that, just trying something new, I think is really cool. Molly says, William, you and Andrew are doing all kinds of new stuff. I think you guys are doing some fun stuff. You guys inspire us all. I hope we're inspiring. You know, that's the whole idea. And that's the idea behind Allegory. That's the idea behind Star Cottage. That's the idea behind William Tries. It's just to, you know, not only do stuff for us, but to inspire all of you out there to try things, to do new things, to, you know, do a technique you've never done before, or use a stone or a color you've never used before, or, you know, go out and get a sketchbook and just start sketching, even if you're horrible at it. Just to try something different, just to try something new, just to inspire you all. We don't really think of ourselves that way necessarily, even though that's kind of the purpose behind some of it. But really, we're just trying to become the best versions of ourselves that we can and have the best store that we can. And I don't mean like the most money making or anything like that, just to have something that fulfills its need, right? And to have a life that fulfills our needs, whether that's necessities or whether that's, you know, some people don't think of happiness and those kind of things as a need, but they should be, and they are. So that's really, I hope we inspire you. It's what we try to do in a roundabout way. We're not out there just doing the things just to inspire you. You know, we're trying to fulfill what we have and what we need, you know, fulfill the holes that we have in us. And for me, I've always wanted to learn a musical instrument, even though I said to my parents, please don't make me. I think ever since that point, I've always wanted to learn one. So that's something I'm trying to do. And I've always been interested in possibly learning pottery. What I don't talk about very much is that my grandmother was actually a ceramicist. She taught classes in her basement for many, many years. I was very small when she did that, and she gave it up once I was a little bit older. but she had kilns, she had molds, she had, she did a lot with ceramics. And so it's funny to see, like, sometimes I wonder, am I interested in that kind of stuff because of them, because my grandfather played music and my grandmother was a ceramicist. And sometimes I forget that my grandmother was a ceramicist, because it was when I was young. But we would sit, my cousins and I, and we would sit and we would paint the ceramics that she would make, and she'd always give us one, and we'd trim the edges off from where the molds were put together, and I remember doing that. And sometimes I forget that, but as I'm doing this, all this stuff is coming to life, within me. And it's kind of, it feels good to kind of continue that family thing, right? I was less close, I would say, in my later years with my grandparents on my father's side. Um, and that had to do with a lot of different things. But I still had a really good relationship with them when I was a kid, and I really enjoyed being there, and I enjoyed them. And so this kind of thing that I kind of pushed away, as I got older, I pushed away some of their, as I think we all do when we grow a little bit apart from somebody. Sometimes you push them away, and you push everything away. And so for a long time, I kind of pushed that stuff away. And now, it's a shame that they have passed now, and I can't ask them all this stuff that now I'm really wanting to know. But I like to see, I feel good bringing some of this full circle, and bringing it through me and putting it out there, and hopefully inspiring some of you. Like, I know they inspired many, many people with their talents. Like I said, my grandmother taught ceramics, and my grandfather played with his friends, and they would invite anybody who wanted to play to come over and play. So I think that, you find ways to inspire yourself, and if you can inspire yourself, you will definitely inspire other people. And I think that's important. Let's see. Oh, my comments jumped again. Let me scroll back. I'm missing a lot of things here. Let's see here. Where am I? There it is. Suzanne says, learning new things is one of the great advantages of the GBE, the Great Beat Extravaganza. Yes, I learn new things every time we have an event from other people. People ask us, do you watch them all? We do. We watch them all, and we learn new things all the time too. Even if it's just a different way of doing something we already do, right? It's always good to see different viewpoints. And Andrew is really good usually at pointing that out when he's demonstrating things for you all on his Tuesday demonstrations. He may do something a different way than other people do it. That doesn't mean that one is wrong and one is right necessarily. Now, there are certain things that, you should ventilate an area when you're working with certain things. That's always right. But techniques, there are a lot of times that things, you do it differently than someone else. And it's always good to see how other people do things, because you may learn from it. You may find a better way at doing something than what you have been trying to do. And that's why, like I said, with the mandolin and trying to figure out where my fingers go, I started watching some other people, instead of just this one lesson teacher on YouTube. I started looking up other videos just to see how other people did things. And so I think it's always good to try to learn new things. And like I said, even if they're not brand new, even if they're just, just a new way of doing something you already do, I think it's really important. Molly says that's totally true. I think the GBE inspires us all to try new stuff. I hope so. That's one of the reasons Andrew and Sarah got together when we formed the group, was to really inspire people and show people new things. Cynthia says, I just got a bigger drum and I love it. I can play it for ages, and it'll feel like a few minutes. That's awesome. See, Andrew's going to be very jealous of that. I'm sure he already is, if he knows yet. Let's see. Even if you love what you do for a living, it's important to have an outside outlet. There are so many things to do. Even doing puzzles or reading a new book or listening to music opens up so many areas in the brain. It's true, Susan. I do believe that. And I mean, there's a lot of research on it too that shows that. but we love what we do. I always wanted to have my own business. I was always interested in gemstones and crystals and rocks, and I love what we do, but it's also work. And it can, no matter how much you love what you do, doing the same thing all the time doesn't really make your brain expand or create new pathways. So I think it is important, even if you love what you do, to pick up something else once in a while and just try something else once in a while. Like you said, even if it's doing puzzles or reading a book, you know, something to kind of shock your brain into I have to learn that. That's a good point, or that's an interesting thing. So I think I really believe that too. Tracy says, my hypermobility allows me to use a lot of musical instruments. 9 to 10 finger span on piano naturally. Nice. Nice. Molly said she had to give up the piano as I have small hands. I could see that. I always wanted to learn the piano, but it was more of I don't know. It was more just to say I could play the piano rather than actually learning to play the piano. Whereas with the mandolin, I've never in my life said, oh, I want to play the mandolin, right? So I think this is more of a fulfilling thing to do. It's not for show. It's not for, to say I can do something. It's actually just to do it. And I think that comes with age too. As a kid or a young person, you just kind of want to say you can do things instead of actually, nurturing yourself. And I think as we get older, I know it's happened to me through the years. I've realized that nurturing yourself is what's important, and then the rest will come, right? So I think that's one of those things. Tracy says, ceramics is truly a wonderful art. I found myself so relaxed making ceramics. Yeah, I kind of, zoned out in class, which good or bad, I don't know. But Amy, our teacher, was really good at, toward the end, letting us experiment and play with things and just kind of figure things out on our own. And she was there if we needed her. That's the kind of environment I like for a creative lesson. I like to be told, here's what you should do. Here's how we do things usually. And be like, practice this, and then give me some time to play, because I think things like ceramics, what I got from it is I don't think you can tell anyone necessarily how to exactly do it. I think it's something like, it wasn't until I kind of gave up those preconceived notions of use your hands like this, or that she showed us, and you just start to feel the clay. Like, you have to feel it, you have to do it enough and enough times, I think, that you just kind of get an inner, just a feel for it, right? And so I think that being able, or having to zone into that and kind of put your focus into feeling that and learning that really actually helps you zone out a little bit in a lot of ways, and just kind of lets you relax. And I think that's why I found it very relaxing working with the ceramics. Marianne says, my newest hobby is trying to learn the tarot. That is, yes, Andrew has an affinity for tarot decks. We have quite a lot of them. We buy, anytime we see new ones, he's usually buying a few. And I love them. I don't read them. It's not my thing. Not that I wouldn't want to learn. I think it's very interesting. I think there's a lot of spiritual connection there. But it's not on my to-do list, but I'm glad you're trying it. There have to be people out there who do it. I love being read. I don't like, I don't do the reading though. But I think there's a lot of good that can be done with it. So I'm glad you're doing that. I can't wait to see. You'll have to let us know how it turns out. So comments, I told you these videos go pretty much as long as your comments do, and y'all, I'm to the bottom of the comments. So it's been an hour and 10 minutes almost. So thank you all for tuning in with me in this Let's Chat. I had a great time chatting with you all. I hope you had a great time hanging out. And if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to to chat and talk within the comments too. We do try and check them every once in a while when we can. Facebook is not great about telling us about all the comments, so we may miss some. But if you are watching this in the replay, I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this live now, I hope you're enjoying it. And please, I'm going to do it again. Please like, follow, share, subscribe, hit that bell so you know when we go live. I can't say it enough, but sharing is definitely caring, everyone. So please hit that share button if you like what we do. It doesn't have to be on this video, because I know this is a Let's Chat. It's weird to share that maybe, because it's more dynamic. It's more built for the live rather than rewatching. But if you like our post, please share our post. We don't get a lot of shares on our general, regular Facebook timeline posts. So if you don't mind, please, if you're on Facebook and you're following us, please just go find a post and share it. That really, you don't know how much that helps. And of course, if you can, go to allegorygallery.com. Where is it? This way. Go here and buy something, because that really helps too. So if you need supplies, we have gemstones. You watch us. You know what we have. And if you don't, please visit allegorygallery.com and check it out. We have a lot of stuff. We have close to 1,000 some items on the online store, all available for you. Charms, pendants, gemstones, check glass, vintage items. We have a whole Halloween collection. If you're looking for Halloween inspired jewelry making items, go there, find it. So thank you all for tuning in. My headache's almost gone. See, sometimes I think you just need to talk it out, right? So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with me. Love chatting with you all. Cynthia says, thanks, William. Love chatting with you. I love chatting with you all too. And, we couldn't be here without you, but we also really, really, really enjoy hanging out with you and getting to talk with you and having this community with you. So thank you for being a part of it. And thank you for being a part of Allegory Gallery. And we'll see you back here. Andrew should be back here tomorrow. I don't think he has a class. Should be back here tomorrow with a demo or tutorial for you. All right. And I will see you back here sometime probably on Wednesday. All right. Have a great one, everyone. Thanks for a great start to the week. Bye now.